Okay, it is 7:30. I think we're ready to get started. Let's start and rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, if you so choose. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I think we're going to start with the oath of office and the introduction of our student members. You want me over there, Lori? Okay.
You can come up to the board over here.
It is an honor that you were selected to guide the education of our community students. As you recite the oath of office, you assume a tremendous responsibility for equitable, quality education of every student in the district. Because as a board, we must be accountable to the community, we must ensure a continuous assessment of student achievement and all conditions affecting the education of our children. As board members, we serve as education's key advocate on behalf of students in our community schools to advance the vision for our schools. As a board member, your leadership and contribution to Fridley Public Schools is valuable. We must strive to work together with the superintendent and staff to lead the district toward fulfilling our mission, which is to challenge and inspire our students and our community to become caring and knowledgeable lifelong learners who inquire to take action to create a better world. I believe you two have an oath of office. This is the tricky part. You have to do it at the exact same time in sync, otherwise it doesn't count.
Okay.
I'll get on the spotlight here and I'll let you guys have that.
Ready?
Yeah, okay.
I hereby publicly affirm my commitment to the oath of office.
I swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and of this state, and that I will discharge faithfully the duties of the office of school board member of Independent School District number 14 to the best of my judgment and ability.
Thank you.
And congratulations.
Certainly a welcome addition, and it certainly lowers the average age of our board tremendously, so thank you for that.
What are you trying to say?
You're a math guy, Ross. You probably have already figured it out in your head. We're now like an average of 22. Eric helped us a lot, and these two will certainly make things better. Okay, so the chair would entertain a motion for approval of the agenda with suggested motions and resolutions. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
A motion by Keeler, second by Anna. This is not a roll call vote, so all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All those opposed? Next up, we have Superintendent Report. Dr. Lewis.
All right, thank you so much, Chair. So February is School Board Appreciation Month. I remember when I was starting to look at superintendent positions a while ago, and a mentor of mine said to me, make sure that you choose your boss as well. And as you know, Fridley, while it's of course my favorite and meant to be, it wasn't the first interview that I had with the board. And it was just a wonderful feeling, and I felt that from you all. I felt the warmth, the welcoming, and I say, in fact, I said this today to Jason Munzenberger. I said, we have these issues that we talked about in our work session of the facilities. I said, but what we don't have is a board that's divided. We have a board that's doing the right work. And I can't thank you enough for your support of doing this work. It's been a hard few months here since July, but we've all pulled together, and that just shows your resolve. I was told by board chair when I first started, we want to hear bad news too. We want to know that. And you all have delivered on that. And sometimes these jobs are thankless positions. So thank you so much for all that you do for our community. And I just really appreciate how you step up in times when maybe it's not so popular to step up. So I hope you will absolutely enjoy your personalized cookie. If you want to hold it up, I would love that. So cute. And then I have certificates for each of you. So truly from my superintendent lens and a mom of 3, I couldn't ask for a better board.
Thank you, Dr. Lewis. Thank you.
The certificates aren't as fun as the cookies.
No.
The cookies are really fun.
They probably don't taste as well.
It's gonna be real hard to eat this cookie. So nice.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I know we got one. Thank you.
One of the benefits, we'll feed you.
All right, next up, we are very excited, of course, to welcome our student school board members, Deo and Decca. And we had a nice time of getting to know them a little bit during our work session. I did say I was going to put them on the spot, so just looking if the two of you are still comfortable just to say a few words to introduce yourself, but we're so thankful to have both of you.
I can go first. My name is Dale Badwe. I've been living in Fridley for about 4 years now. I came in right before my freshman year, and Fridley's been a great place to me. I'm somebody who's very involved. I'm involved in football and captain in tennis. I'm the president of our student council, secretary of our African American Student Union, and co-treasurer for our MHS. So I do a lot, but I think it's important for students like me to get involved, try to really make a place like this my home. So I'm very grateful for the opportunity. So thank you guys very much.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Decca Ahmed, and I'm a junior here at Fridley. I've been a student at Fridley Public Schools for about 9 years now, and I'm just so grateful that I'm able to be such a part of a very welcoming community and supportive community. I'm president of our first medical-based club, and I was able to start this year, and our district has just been very supportive of me, and as well as the students at our school too. So yeah, I'm just very grateful to be here.
We're very thankful for both of you. As a reminder, board, Deo is the senior, so we'll have to say goodbye to him. But then Decca will be with us this year and next year, and then we'll work on a process for our junior representative, and then we can have them on off terms. So we're really excited to welcome them both. Thank you so much. Next, we will have a report from our Director of Nutritional Services, Renee. As Renee's coming up, I just wanted to share a conversation that I was having today during our strategic planning sessions, and just how responsive our nutrition services team is when it comes to different foods that reflect our students, and just how that came up of how you and your team really honor our students. So I wanted to just thank you for that before you go ahead with your presentation. Thanks, Renee.
Great, thank you. Ready, Lori? Okay. Thank you, board, for allowing me to come tonight. I just kind of want to talk a little bit about what we've been doing this year, some of the challenges we've had, as well as a lot of the success that my department has had over the last year, and especially since the school year started. I'm going to start quickly with a brief overview. This year we were awarded a First Bite grant from the Minnesota Department of Agriculture. And this grant was for about $10,000, and it really allowed me to be able to focus a little bit more on our farm to school and be able to expand that and expand what we're serving to our students. This year, because of the grant, we were able to purchase some fresh beef to be able to do Euro sandwiches at the high school. As well as we have fresh beef patties that we're serving right now at Hayes Elementary, as well as we were able to purchase more locally grown produce and increase the number of farmers that we work directly with, as well as the Good Acre Food Hub. We've also conducted taste tests in all of the schools on a variety of different items, including our Somali rice and our chicken tikka masala. And we continue to taste test a variety of scratch recipes and items in our school. And what we're finding is a lot of our students are not familiar with scratch items. So it's become more of a challenge for us to be able to introduce some of those kind of items. Go ahead. Along with our successes, I really wanted to highlight just a couple of the opportunities and challenges that we've faced as a department this year. We continue to have openings in the nutritional services department, and we have very limited subs to help when our staff are out sick. So you'll frequently find myself or our nutrition coordinator in the kitchens supporting our students, helping make sure that our staff have everything they need to provide the best quality meals. We continue to look for different ways to recruit and retain our staff. Nutritional services is definitely a challenging department to work in because it's more than just serving food to our customers. But a lot of my team members come back year after year just because of those relationships that they have with our students, as well as the relationships they have with each other. Besides labor shortages, we continue to have product shortages. We have definitely struggled with our breakfast items this year, some of our main entree items, and our condiments. But we continue to look for new and different items to help meet our customer expectations, as well as the strict USDA nutritional requirements. As you're seeing in the grocery store, food costs for us continue to rise. Our food cost overall is up about 7% over last year, while our federal reimbursement rate continues to decline. So we definitely are faced with both sides of, how do we maintain our high quality program while meeting those needs. And USDA, again, continues to change our nutrition requirements. We've got new sodium requirements this year, and we do meet those, and we are expecting more changes for the 24-25 school year to increase our sodium by about another 10%. So that's another reason why we're continuing to focus on our scratch cooking. Go ahead. Along with what we're doing inside of our department, I just wanted to talk a little bit about our farm to school. This year we purchased directly from Hidden Valley Streams Farms, which is out of Elgin, Minnesota. And from them we purchased fresh vegetables, our Euro meat, our fresh burgers. We're purchasing from Ferndale Farms out of Cannon Falls, where we're getting our ground turkey and our turkey breast. We do Pine Tree apples and Bayfield apples, where we provide fresh apples for all of our students. So really any apple that your students are seeing are from either Wisconsin or Minnesota. I'm not purchasing really anything beyond that, unless for like a Granny Smith or something like that, just for some variety. We purchased from Good Acre Food Hub, and we got watermelon radishes, delicata squash, tomatoes, and Brussels sprouts. And you will see the delicata squash up there in the upper corner. The watermelon that you see there is also from one of the underserved farmers that we work with through the Good Acre. The rice there in the wild rice pilaf came from the White Earth Indian Reservation this year. As well as our beef sambusas continue to come from Hoya Foods out of the South Metro. And as of January 31st, 2024, we have purchased over 20,000 pounds of locally grown products. And that equates to about $38,000 worth of products that have gone back into our local economy. And those figures do not include our milk, and they do not include the sliced apples that we use at breakfast every day. So if I included that, it would be even more. And I just want to say too, and I forgot to mention, every picture you see in here is something that we serve, or it's my team members. So it is a representation of what we are doing. This year we've had a lot of new recipes that we have been using. In the upper corner, you're going to see batso irisugo, which is a Somali-style spaghetti and meat sauce that went over really well. We did that a couple of times this year. We've had chicken tikka masala, and we'll be serving that again coming up at the elementary schools. Sesame green beans, the wild rice pilaf, a couple different side dishes. As well as at the high school, we've been trying a burger of the month. So we've been taking our basic hamburgers, and we've been adding different things like Southwest seasoning to it, a Southwest condiments. We did mango and jalapeno burgers. We've done Big Mac burgers, sriracha burgers, things like that. So we're looking at ways to be able to engage our students so they can make those choices and have something that's customized for what they want. as well as we've been continuing to expand our grab-and-go salads and sandwiches at the high school. The salad you see with the ranch is one of the salads we serve every week at the high school. That is our backyard barbecue salad. It has been a huge success along with our taco salads and several other of our Southwest chicken salads and our barbecue chicken salads. We've had numerous new sandwiches along with kid favorites, including the yogurt parfaits and turkey pesto sandwiches. Besides the new recipes, we do definitely celebrate the cultures and the things that we have here in Fridley. We celebrated Native American Month. This year we did the wild rice pilaf from the White Earth Indian Reservation and delicata squash. We also did Spanish Heritage Month, which you'll see in the top corner with the baked plantains. And we did a jerk chicken and a turmeric rice with that. We did Chinese New Year with the Asian noodle bowl with dumplings. General Tso's chicken. We do Mandarin orange chicken and a variety of other things throughout the year. And then right now we're celebrating Black History Month. And the little boy that you see is holding the sweet potato cobbler that we did last week at the elementary schools. We did earlier at the high school, and that recipe came to us from Good Acre. We're doing baked okra later this week, and we had collard greens first week of February. So we continue to look at different options and ways that we can represent our students. Okay. And then I just want to talk a little bit about what we're looking forward to for 24-25. We are actually doing some taste testing coming up this week with the Middle School Student Council, where they are going to be taste testing bean and cheese pupusas. This is an El Salvadorian flatbread that is stuffed with cheese and beans. And along with that, the students will be having an Salvadorian coleslaw. So they'll have a little bit more of an ethnic type of experience. We want to get their feedback on that, as well as we will be taste testing tamales, which is the #1 requested item by our Latina and Latinx students. We're also going to try a turkey barbacoa street taco at the high school, which will have traditional small corn tortilla shells, and the students can top them off any way that they would like. And our taste testing is not only at the high school and the middle school, but we do taste tests at the elementary schools, as well as we've even included the daycare program at FCC to help get them involved with what we're doing and how we're trying to taste things. As well as in the top corner there, you're going to see some muffins, and those we're trying out. They're coming from a General Mills mix that we are going to be starting to use. And actually these muffins, or a type like this, will be served when Commissioner Jett comes to visit us during National Breakfast Week. We continue to try a variety of grab-and-go sandwiches and salads at the high school, as well as we're monitoring any other new trends and what's going on in restaurants, because essentially we are the largest restaurant in the city of Fridley with our 4 locations and everything that we're serving. And so we really need to think about it that way and what we're doing, because our students have choices and we want them to choose to be able to eat with us, even with all of our strict USDA regulations. And finally, along with that, we're going to continue to expand our farm to school program. And we're looking forward to finding some farmers to partner with us that can come in at lunchtime and interact with our students so that they can begin to learn more about where their food comes from, instead of just coming from the grocery store. This can't be done without my team. I have a wonderful team of 22 people who work every day to support our students. And they all have unique talents, and they're the ones who make this work. I just get to share in their accomplishments. What you'll see here is Tammy. Most of these pictures of my staff were taken at our staff development training that we had in January, where we continue to invest in my team to be able to provide new and exciting things. And we recognize the challenges that we face with our students, being afraid to try new items. Oftentimes the littler kids are focused on chatting with their friends at lunchtime instead of eating. We get that, but we also want to make sure that they are getting enough nutrition and enough to eat so that they can focus through the rest of their day. As well as we're continuing to focus on providing our customers with a variety of menu options and controlling our costs while using scratch and speed scratch options. And then also in February of 2023, we started providing cold breakfast and cold lunch to the half-day preschool programs. And our goal is to expand this to having some hot options so that once they start eating with us, they will continue to eat with us during their 12 years of school here. A couple other things that are new for us this year is our elementary schools and the Alternative Learning Center are now considered community eligibility provision or CEP schools. And this means that the percentage of students who qualify for free and reduced meals is high enough that the federal government provides us with some additional reimbursement for those meals. And we have also benefited from the Minnesota Free Meals for All program. And what that means is that we are able to provide one free lunch and one free breakfast to each one of our students. We had previously been providing breakfast, but lunch is new this year. And this program has been a huge benefit because it reduces that stigmatism associated with free and reduced meals. So people don't know, and we have a lot more students who feel a little more comfortable coming and eating meals with us, which is awesome for us. As well as my staff get to focus on providing good, healthy meals while we don't have to worry about collecting student debt. However, I still am trying to collect some student debt from previous school years. I'm just not seeing it go up anymore. I just kind of want to talk a little bit about what we are doing and how our program has grown. Through January 31st of 2024, you can see we've served a little over 119,000 meals. We're averaging about 1,325 students per day for breakfast. And we are seeing about a 7 to 8% increase in breakfast this year. And you can see that our elementary students definitely eat more breakfast with us. Middle school is working its way back up now that we have continued to do second chance breakfast at the middle school. We were without that for a while last year, but we're seeing a lot more students participate in that. And the high school, you know, is our lowest numbers, but it's also harder to reach them, and sometimes they're not always at school on time. I do find that at the elementary schools, our participation really depends on the teacher preference and the teacher's perception of our breakfast. If they perceive it as healthy or not, even though we are serving whole grain, low fat, lower sodium kinds of items. And we try to serve as many kid-friendly items as possible, just because we want them to be able to eat breakfast so that they can focus throughout the day. And then lunch. Again, at lunchtime, we are seeing about a 7 to 8% increase in our participation. Our participation has not gone up as much as other districts just because we had a higher percentage of free and reduced kids. So we had a higher percentage of kids already eating meals with us than I did with a lot of my other counterparts. But we are seeing that increased participation. We're serving about 100 more kids each day. As you can see at our elementary and middle school, we are serving about 85% of our students, which just warms my heart, just because that I know that they're getting a good, healthy meal, and hopefully they are able to focus a little bit more in the afternoon. We continue to serve those speed scratch items. We've really tried to decrease the amount of processed meals we are serving. We still do serve some. We still have mini corn dogs. We still have chicken patties on a bun. We still have hamburgers. But our chicken patties right now are whole, white, whole muscle. So there's no added fillers to them. So they definitely have gotten much healthier. And our beef patties are 100% beef. There's no soy, there's no gluten, there's no nothing in them. So even though they're getting some of their favorite items, they just don't know that we have made them more healthy and better for them as students. We continue to invest in our team. Like I said, we had our January staff development where they learned a lot about the USDA regulations. They received training from the General Mills corporate chef, Heather Swan, so that they can learn how to use mixes and use other things to help make more items from scratch. We continue to partner with our farm to school partners, as well as we're currently evaluating our equipment and what needs to be replaced. Because as we continue to grow towards more scratch, we are going to need more equipment. We are going to need things that are getting older and will need to be replaced. As well as we're continuing to meet the USDA nutritional requirements for breakfast and lunch. This is the first year of the sodium reductions. We will have an additional 10% reduction in salt next year, and then another 10% reduction in the 27-28 school year. So we're going to be cutting about 300 milligrams of sodium out of our menus over the next 4 to 5 years, which is a challenge because a lot of our students are still very familiar with those convenience, high salt kinds of things. So trying to match that to what they will consume is where we're trying to do a lot of that taste testing. And finally, nutritional services continues to work with student wellness. During the 2024 year, we will need to complete our next triennial assessment of the student wellness policy. There is a large percentage there that is nutrition related based on what we are serving, but that also looks at what's going on in Phi-Ed, what else is going on in health classes, as well as how we're supporting our students with their mental health. We'll continue to work on our farm to school and meeting our requirements. So I just want to say thank you for your time, and this is my team. They're the ones who make it all work. So thank you for your time. Any questions?
You do a great job, Renee. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you for caring for our students well in this way. We really appreciate that.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next up, it is my absolute pleasure to call Josh Callahan up to present. He is a member of our American Indian Parent Advisory Council. He's also a parent here, and we'll share about that. And I think you're an alum parent too, right?
My daughter Cassidy graduated 3 years ago.
Okay, wonderful.
Something like that.
So he's going to share with us about our American Indian Ed grant that we apply for, as well as our programming. Take it away, Josh.
So yeah,
Thank
Josh
you so
Callahan.
much.
Oh, no, you're welcome. Josh Callahan, American Indian Parent Advisory Committee. Basically here just to attest that the needs of our American Indian students are being met by the board and the district. And I will conclude with that resolution. But before then, I'll read a little bit. I'll try to go fast, but not too fast because I want everybody to understand. Read a couple slides here. So the American Education, oh, I already messed it up. The American Indian Education Act, AID, each year the Fridley School District applies to receive funding from the American Indian Education Aid Grant under the Minnesota Department of Education. The aid is based on the number of students enrolled in a district who are reported as American Indian. In the application process, Fridley Schools identifies goals on how the aid will be used to support American Indian students. These goals are approved by the American Indian Parent Advisory Committee. Prior to March 1st of each year, the APAC votes as to whether or not they concur with the educational offerings that have been extended by the district to American Indian students, and the results of this vote are shared with the school board and reflected in the minutes as a record. So a little bit about how that aid supports us and what our goals are. Goal Area 1, support post-secondary preparation for students. Our attendance goal is an increase in daily attendance of at least 3% from last year. After semester 1, the overall attendance for American Indian students in the district is up 26.3% from the 2022-23 school year. Our graduation rate goal is 100%. Currently, 6 of the 7 American Indian students in grade 12 are on track to graduate in the spring, with 1 student taking additional steps with the goal of graduating this spring. Our goal area, Goal Area 2, support the academic achievement of American Indian students. Math scores goals. American Indian students will demonstrate at least a 2% increase in math scores using Fast Bridge test data. Our progress is to be determined. The spring 2024 Fast Bridge assessment data will be available after students take the assessment in the spring. Goal Area 3, make curriculum relevant to the needs, interests, and cultural heritage of American Indian pupils. Our goal is that the district will reflect at curriculum meetings on the following. How can we incorporate Native American voice/perspective into upcoming unit plans? How do we do on incorporating Native American voice in past plans? What can we do differently or better next time? Our progress, the American Indian Education Coordinator meets with the Teaching and Learning IB Coordinator team regularly to jointly review these goals and share new information. Goal Area 4, provide positive reinforcement of the self-image of American Indian pupils. Our goal is the increased participation in student cultural groups and activities. Progress, this year the American Indian Education Program has seen an increase in participation in Native American student culture groups that meet 2 times per month at each elementary school. Culture groups at middle school, high school, and ALC have seen similar participation as in the past, with increased interest in upcoming field trips such as maple syrup harvesting and college visits. Goal Area 5, develop intercultural awareness among pupils, parents, and staff. Our goal is to increase in the number of cultural activities that students and staff have access to in the district. So our progress, some of the things that we've been doing. Indigenous Peoples Day in October, district-wide lessons and discussion. November, Native Heritage Month, multiple drum and dance group performances and teachings across the district. Staff training opportunities this year, supporting Native students and creating culturally sustaining spaces for Native students. Field trips, Dakota Experience at Gibbs Farm, Sugar Bush, maple syrup, which I do get to eat at home when they do that. It's very good. St. Cloud State Campus Tour and visit with American Indian Center. Powwow Fridley is collaborating with multiple districts to host a powwow on April 13th at Champlain Park High School. Goal Area 6, supplement, not supplant, state and federal education and co-curricular programs. The goal is to offer services and opportunities to American Indian students that do not supplant or replace services offered to all students. Progress, American Indian students have access to a dedicated American Indian education coordinator who is a licensed school counselor, Jana here, as well as culture groups and culturally specific field trips and activities. And in conclusion, we, the American Indian Parent Advisory Committee, issue a vote of concurrence. We attest that the school board and/or district are compliant with Minnesota statutes, and the school board and/or district are meeting the needs of American Indian students. The end.
Well done.
I think you said hold on. I'm like, oh, is there a question?
Well done.
Okay.
Well done, Josh.
Yeah, thank you.
Certainly looks like a lot of work that has been put into this program. So
So great coordinators here.
awesome.
And board, this will come back here to approve as soon as I'm done with the superintendent report. The next and I believe final item is the update on the gala. Over $43,000. Isn't that exciting? We're still though at the second best, right? I want to say the best, but second best, but just very excited about that. I also wanted to take the time to honor Lori, Renee, who just were phenomenal with the work, as well as Karen. Just have done that, and Stephen, of course, was an amazing MC for the evening and all that were involved. So it was my first gala. It was definitely fun and exciting, and just really proud of all the work, and it's so fun to see these contributions come to fruition to impact our students. So thanks for your support. And I believe that's the end of the superintendent report. All right, Chair.
Great, thank you. Yeah, the gala was fantastic. So next we're on to business action items. The chair would entertain a motion to approve the American Indian Education vote of concurrence. So moved. Do I hear a second?
Second.
All those in favor can signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. Next up, we have a resolution accepting gifts, whereas School Board Policy 706 establishes guidelines for the acceptance of gifts to the district, and whereas Minnesota Statute 465.03 states that the school board may accept a gift, grant, or device of real or personal property only by the adoption of a resolution approved by 2/3 of its members. Therefore, be it resolved that the school board of Fridley Public Schools accepts with appreciation the following gifts received by the school district. The following persons donated to the Fridley High School, a donation of $214, and this person was anonymous. The chair would entertain a motion to accept the gifts and thank the donors if we can track them down due to their anonymous status, and thank them for their contributions.
So
All
moved.
those in favor, I need a motion.
So moved. Second.
And this is a roll call vote. Ms. Anna,
Aye.
Ms. Jones,
Aye.
Mr. Carnap is aye, Mr. Keeler,
Aye.
Mr. Meisner, aye, and Ms. Ahmed.
Aye.
Filling this. And Badu. Badu? Badway. I'm gonna get that. Mr. Badway.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion passes. Next, we have the consent agenda. The consent, do we normally read the whole, what the consent agenda is?
Not all the materials.
Okay.
no.
The chair would entertain a motion to accept the consent agenda.
Actually, I used to, yeah, I
Should we?
misspoke. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I don't know why I asked you.
Yeah.
Lori's running the show here.
And I'm like, wait, no, I used to say what was on the consent agenda, yes.
The consent agenda for this meeting will cover the monthly financial reports, new contracts, amendments, leaves of absence, resignations, retirements, memorandum of agreement with the Fridley Education Association for paying additional hours for moving at RLS for summer projects. It'll cover the overnight field trip, Get Ready HBCU College Tour in April 2024, the overnight trip for the Fridley Middle School High School Jazz Band in Eau Claire, which is going to be awesome, for the Jazz Band Festival in April of 2024, the overnight field trip robotics team to Northern Lights competition in Duluth in February, the overnight field trip robotics team to Granite City competition in St. Cloud in April, and Education, Identity, and Access Management Resolution, IOWA recertification for Brenda Lewis. I'm assuming we want to pass that, Brenda? Okay, good. The chair would entertain a motion to accept the consent agenda.
Move to accept the consent agenda.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor can signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. Then next, I think, and lastly, we have important future school board dates. We have the Stevenson PTO meeting on February 21st at 5:30, obviously at Stevenson Elementary School. We have the incoming 5th grade parent night on February 22nd at 5 o'clock at the Fridley Middle School. We have the Fridley High School Choir Open Mic Night, also on February 22nd at 7 o'clock at the high school district auditorium. And then we have the Festival of Nations celebration at Stevenson on February 29th from 5:30 to 7:30. We have a free family movie night featuring the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem, March 1st at 7 o'clock at the district auditorium. We have the Fridley Middle School and High School Jazz Band Coffee Concert, March 4th at 7 o'clock at the Fridley Middle School. Hayes Kindergarten Roundup on March 6th at 5:30 at Hayes Elementary, followed by the Stevenson Kindergarten Roundup on March 7th at 5:30 at Stevenson. And then the Fridley Middle School musical will be featuring Annie Jr. this year. Those dates are March 14th and 15th at 7 and March 16th at 2 o'clock. This will be held at the district auditorium. And then we have the Fridley Public Schools School Board meeting March 19th, held here at the Fridley Community Center. 5:30 work session, 7 o'clock public forum, 7:30 business meeting. With that said, the chair would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Thank you, Sarah. Do I have a second?
Second.
Eric? We will be adjourning at 8:08. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? And with that, we are adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.